Well, thanks for hopping on here, guys. We got Peters. Everybody knows him. He's been on before, friend of the show. And now we got TJ Shook
What's up? How we doing?
pitching in the Colorado system. So thanks for hopping on. Glad to have you.
Absolutely. Love to be here.
So, and like I said, Andrew knows how this goes already. So, TJ, apologies for whatever this actually really turns into, but we'll see what happens. But before we get into anything somewhat serious and questions, which one of you is more or was more stereotypically pitcher weird?
Definitely Andy.
I don't know, dude. I was gonna say, I'm ready to like turn this into like our friendship, pretty much. We always gave Shook a ton of crap because we were like, oh, he's an only child, so like,
You talking about like
bro,
pitcher weird stuff? Like does all the pitcher things?
Yeah, yeah.
because like everyone says pitchers are weird, and then everyone says left-handed pitchers are
Well,
weird.
listen, man. Like, yeah, you pitchers are a little different. Yes, that's not. You can't shy away from that. Yes, lefties are even weirder, but everybody's got their thing and whatever you fall into, whether it's like like I said, you can't talk to me all before I start. I hop over the lines, whatever you write in the mound before you start pitching, how many pitches you throw in a warm up, in a bullpen, things like that.
I was honestly gonna say I've gotten pretty much more loose as the years have gone on. Like I used to be somewhat serious in high school, and then college I was like, all right, a little more loose, like a little more serious. So I was kind of in between there, and then each year in pro ball I've kind of gotten a little more loose because I don't want to rely on that to feel like I'm doing good.
I got
I
you.
don't know. Some guys are different. I have a different mindset about it now than probably 5 years ago.
Right.
I used to have to like be mad if I was pitching, and then I started like associating baseball with me being mad, so I had to like disassociate all that stuff and get super loose. I don't know. In my regular life though, I've done a lot of really obscure things that Shook never did. He would, do his homework, go to bed, and then wake up and do it all over again. And then I would just be out driving around at 3, 4 a.m. just because South Carolina weather was nice and I'm from Chicago. So yeah.
Andy, I remember in college, you used to be the headphones in type of guy, not really talk to a lot of people. Was that you or is that somebody
No, that
else?
was me. That was me because we met this summer because I was rehabbing my TJ, not you. I was rehabbing my first Tommy John, and we were doing the summer lifting programs and stuff. And I was just basically like me and Brian were just boys. I didn't talk to anybody. Seitler was in there thinking he was like going to get cut going into the fall or something like that, and um,
That's right.
otherwise, I didn't really like talk to anybody. And then we bonded over a video game. Me and Shook bonded over. He was like my first friend at South Carolina,
Oh,
Yeah.
besides our athletic trainer.
what was the video game?
The amount of hours
Apex
put in.
Legends.
I was gonna say the amount of hours we put into that game is ridiculous.
Awesome. I love
Yeah,
that. Who's better? Who's the
him,
okay?
him. He
I was-
fries.
We would go back and forth, honestly.
He's just
There'd be
he's a
times he'd
loot
have like 10
goblin.
kills. I'd have like 10 kills, but it'd be like we'd always have good chemistry. So we'd always win some games.
Oh, there you go. Well, yeah.
We were that team where I would just like start screaming at him, and then like, oh,
Yeah.
nice kill, nice kill.
Yeah. Kind of depends who the third was, but
That's good. Well, I mean, that's like teamwork, right? I mean, you guys are teammates together, so it makes sense that it would just translate into another form of a team game. Andrew, what is when you look at TJ's path, what's the most pitchery thing about it?
Probably how strict he is with his schedule. Like I said, he wakes up at 7 a.m. You were waking up going to class. You'd get your homework, or you'd go to practice, you'd get your homework done, and then you'd play video games till like 8, 9 p.m. and then just go to bed. Sometimes he'd have date night with his girlfriend or whatever, but for the most part, he was like on a set schedule, and he was very particular about a lot of things. And pitchers are creatures of habit. Hitters can be, but like pitchers, especially, he was a starter. He was like priming to be one of our weekend starters, or trying to try to get to that weekend spot. And I think that was COVID year. He did
Yeah.
really good out of the bullpen, and then he ended up getting a couple of midweek starts, correct?
I don't know if I
And he was
started. I was
just
just I was out of the pen. I think
long relief.
something. I can't remember.
Yeah, he just was like shoving for like multiple innings, so he was primed to get a starter spot, and that's every Thursday, Friday, or sorry, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So trying to be that starting pitcher, he was very like creature of habit kind of deal.
That makes sense. What about Andrew?
Purely a hard worker, like always put in the time, always put in effort, like always showed up and was always putting in work, like trying to put in more work than anybody. Like that was the one thing I liked about Andy when I first met him is even if it was video games, school, baseball, whatever, he's like he's gonna put in the work and what it takes and the mental capacity for it. Sometimes that sometimes it can hit you a little bit. Like sometimes there was where you would overthink a little, but I would just try to calm you down and stuff. But that's just I feel like that's kind of who he is. He's a very big thinker, but it's a good thing too. Uh, but yeah, just a hard worker in general. I mean, it's honestly it was crazy to watch him and Carmen. I know we were talking about him earlier with the Pirates.
Yep.
They were both two of the hardest workers I've ever seen, and it was really cool to be around that. And I kind of took some of what they both did and added it into my routine. I kind of did what I liked and kind of filtered through the things that I saw that they did, and whatever worked for me, it kind of stuck. So that's just the one thing that I've noticed.
Yeah, I watched Carmen Majinski. I just learned that's how you pronounce his name because
Yeah.
I've heard before. I think I assumed, or I've heard other people. I think it was Maladzinski. It was because nobody. You get two consonants together in a name, especially when they start. It's like I don't know what to do here. What is
Yeah.
it? So, but yeah, I was at the Cubs game yesterday and watched him pitch. He did very well. It was
Yeah.
cold. Cubs lost, which I'm not a huge Cubs fan. I just like going to the games. My wife's the crazy Cubs fan. I'm a Mets fan, so which they're coming to Wrigley next week. I'll be there.
You played with the Mets, bro.
I was
What
gonna say
team?
I came up with the Brewers, and then I was with the Mets for about a year and 2 months, and then was Rule 5 to the Rockies. So I have a little bit of Mets tenor.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I just got kind of friendly with Rachel Folden. She's the new Mets hitting coach over at Double A,
Binghamton. Yeah.
Yeah. She's cool. I like her.
Yeah, she came from the Cubs, right?
Yeah.
That's
I actually
right.
first met her in 2021, I think, when she was with the Cubs at the complex in Arizona, and then it's pretty neat. I like watching everybody just kind of move up and go on. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly will say that Binghamton team we had last year was the best team I think I've been on, talent wise, and then we just won. It's like no matter what, we just won games. It was pretty insane to watch. But yeah, the Mets have a ton of talent. They got a lot of good arms, good hitters, and they're going to do a lot of things in the future here.
I have cautious optimism.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a Mets fan, so it's always like when's that next shoe gonna drop, or what's gonna happen here. So
A lot
anyway,
of the Mets, like homegrown guys, have they performed well. It's like the big contract guys that sort of just kind of peter out. But
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of going on there. You got so much money, between these two, especially with Lindor and Soto. But anyway, I don't want to get too much on that. We're here for you guys. South Carolina, you both went are in our Gamecocks. What was what does that place do to pitchers?
Honestly, I mean, I've seen a lot of guys come throughout that system and leave, but like it does an overall good job of developing pitchers and developing arms. I would say, at least mentality wise. I mean, we had Kingston there when we were both there, and then Skylar Meade was there, had a little bit of the Jerry Myers era. Both great pitching coaches, in my opinion. Jerry recruited me. Skylar kind of developed me into what I am today. And
love Coach Meade.
I'm saying I mean, he knows what he's talking about. That's why he's done a good job at Troy. I don't know where he'll be after that, but I could see a lot of good things coming for him later on. But he developed me. I was honestly a better hitter in high school than a pitcher. And I was only throwing like 87. Somehow I got an offer to South Carolina, developed, started throwing low 90s, and then Brewers thought that was good enough and then signed me. So I guess I got to give credit to Mead and all
I
the
mean,
coaches that were there.
you also like
Absolutely.
you have the frame though. Like you're 6'4", like what, 220, 230?
About 230 now, yeah.
Like, and you've seen yourself up to like 96, 97. Like whether you think the gun was juiced or not, whatever. Like you've seen it on multiple occasions, right? Like
Yeah.
so it's not just the it was the prospect of what you could get to with velocity wise. You've been maintaining. You've been 92, 95, whatever, 91, 94,
Right.
whatever you've been.
Potential. Hmm.
So
Big body
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, they see it, and then it's like, well, if he can't probably make it as a hitter, and he's got a good arm, we could probably turn him into a pitcher.
have you been back to South Carolina since like Pulmonary? Obviously, he's not at the helm anymore, but since Pulmonary and Terry Rooney, like, have you had a chance to meet all those guys?
No, I never got to meet Maneri. I did meet Rooney very briefly in the outfield. We would talk. It was like 5-10 minutes, maybe 2 conversations. But from what I could tell, he seemed like he knew what he was talking about. I don't really know the day-to-day life for those guys.
I've talked to Monty a little bit. When I went back my final year of with the Angels when I was going in to work out and stuff. I talked to Monty a little bit. It was awesome having him come back to South Carolina. He recruited you at COC, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a big fan of Monty Lee. He initially recruited me at College of Charleston. Then when he went to Clemson, I almost went for a visit there. And then South Carolina had me visit the week before I was supposed to go there. And then I just obviously born and raised 20 minutes from the school. I'm going to commit there instead of Clemson. But it was my backup plan, honestly. But I love Monty. He's a great dude. I love the way he coaches. He lifts with his players. He's in the grind with them. I mean, he's phenomenal.
Recruiting process obviously worked because you guys went there. But what was it about that process that kind of solidified it and was just like, yeah, that's where I'm going?
Mine was pretty late. I didn't. I was kind of a late bloomer, but out of high school, I went to a bunch of camps. I never really went to the perfect game camps because that's a whole different topic. I feel like a lot of parents pay for rankings and stuff. I don't want to get too deep into that.
Perfect game is big out there. Like whereas like in Illinois, it's all about PBR, PBR. Perfect game is like the South, like Georgia runs East Cobb and South Carolina and all that jazz.
Yeah, being so close to Atlanta, I mean, that's pretty much where the mecca is.
That's their headquarters.
Yeah. And yeah, so I never went to those big events. I would go to a lot of showcase events around South Carolina that were cheaper or free.
Right.
And do well at those, get, some buzz. But I did go to this South Carolina camp right before my senior year. I think it was during the summer. Did really well, hit like 88, 89, I think. I was hitting as well. I think I hit a nuke off a kid and just had a really good showing. And
hey, funny how that goes full circle. Todd Peterson.
Wasn't a nuke though. But yeah. Did really well at that showcase. Coach Myers talked to me after. He said, yeah, we'd like to get you on a visit. I came the next day. They showed me around campus, around the facilities that I was just in for the camp. And then, I went to eat with my parents, kind of think it over, whatever. And it was like, all right, well, obviously I grew up here, grew up a fan. Like, this is where I want to go. This is where I want to have a future. So literally, as soon as we finished eating, I drove back to the school and committed right there. So like within a few hours. But
man,
yeah.
Decision maker. I like that.
I mean, it felt right. Prayed about it. I felt really good about the decision, and then it goes on from there. So
in that shift, did you pitch at all, or did you just hit?
I was told that I would 2-way, but you know how that goes. They kind of make you pick unless you're like very good at it.
Same thing happened with like Mahoney. Mahoney was going to be 2-way too. Seitler. He was a
Seitler,
Pirates prospect for a while, and then he ended up just dropping like bombs.
Yeah.
Mahoney was just throwing 98, so they're like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make you just a pitcher.
Yeah. They do that just to kind of make you pick, I guess, but it's very difficult to 2-way nowadays. But yeah, that was kind of the plan behind it.
Yeah. Andrew, what's your story? If you can keep it to
I'll consolidate it.
The abridged version.
College baseball in the South and just college sports in general are a lot more prominent. Again, you have the SEC, right? Like that's like Alabama. Nick Saban made football super popular. South Carolina, they're the closest baseball team is the Atlanta Braves, right?
Yep.
So like you really rely on the Clemson, South Carolina, like North UNC, like just that. It's a hub for college baseball and just history, right? So in Illinois, we have the Bears, the Cubs, like everything's like right here. The Cardinals, there was the St. Louis Rams where they moved to LA. I didn't know anything about college sports, so it was a lot harder for me. I remember when I was 14, I went to the Omaha Slump Buster. I don't even remember what year. I think it was 2012 because South Carolina had just won. No, it was 2011 or 2012. South Carolina had just won, what, 09 and 2010, right? So I think it was
10 and 11. 10 and 11.
They won
Yeah.
10 and 11. Okay. So it was
Yeah.
2012 then. And I think they ended up losing the game that I went to. And I bought this, like, it was a gray hat with a garnet bill and then a green underbill. And it was a new era flat bill. Like everyone, that was snapback. Everything was like that was popular back then. And it just said Gamecocks across the front of it. I'm 14. I'm like, Gamecocks, haha, whatever. You know, my
I think
mom
the
gave
first
me
time
like
you hear the
$50.
Gamecocks
Yeah.
thing, everybody laughs, especially
Yeah.
when a kid.
Yeah. My mom gave me like $50 and she was like, I was out with my friends and she was like, this is your money for the whole time we're down here. I bought this $35 Gamecocks New Era flat bill hat, right? And I'm like, we just happen to be watching the Gamecocks play too. And I'm like, I'm with some of my buddies from my travel team, and I'm like, I'm gonna be shortstop for the South Carolina Gamecocks someday. This is back before I started pitching. I was just a hitter. And then time goes by, my college story. I get to go. I'm getting phone calls when I met Johnny Logan, and Coach Meade reaches out to me. I take my visit to South Carolina, and I stood on the mound. Kingston took me to the mound and was like, how's this feel? We're going to be pitching on like Friday nights on weekends in the SEC. And I'm like, I look around like, this is the closest I'll ever get to shortstop at South Carolina. So, yeah. I think I committed like 2 days later. Yeah.
Did you have all the jersey and uniform on?
Nope.
Or no?
That's like
They-
I think that's a high school thing because I was a JUCO guy.
I was gonna say they didn't start doing that, I guess, until a couple years after that, I guess. But
Yeah.
I guess that's a nice little touch. Put you in full uni to get you, show you what it's like. That's
Oh, and the skyline from like just behind, like in the outfield, dude. Like I remember I visited Tennessee, I visited Rocky Top. It was just a bunch of like construction. That's when they were on the up and up. Great coaching, like great program. I just like the aesthetic at South Carolina really sold me too.
yeah, the field's absolutely beautiful. Facilities
Yeah.
are all right there, which is what a lot of teams are trying to move towards. But they designed that place perfectly. The cages, weight
Yeah.
room, training room, all literally in the same hall, and then the field's obviously right there. We have a meeting
Yeah.
room up top. I mean, it doesn't get much better. Something I will say, I wish more teams did this, is have an alumni locker room or
Oh my God, yeah.
like somewhere where former players can go, interact with the current players, but also have their own space and still use the facility and all that. I wish that was more of a trend. I think it's trending that way, but it's you gotta have the space for it. So
It was tough. I remember we'd go get a workout in, like train, whatever, and then it's like, okay, I got to drive back home. I'm not getting in my car all dirty. The players are getting ready to start practice. They're filing in. It's like I'm just gonna go in the locker. Like I'm just gonna go take a shower in the locker room, whatever. And it's just kind of like I don't know half the guys, and I'm sitting here like trying to just leave, whatever.
yeah,
a good idea. Well, maybe this will be like the big grassroots. We'll start it here. We'll put that out there.
I hope so. It'd be sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be sick.
Yep, we got your endorsement. So you heard it. More alumni locker rooms.
Yeah.
All right, TJ, like you're pitching Colorado. You're pitching in Albuquerque right now, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, actually, currently in El Paso, Texas, but yes, Albuquerque, New Mexico is where our team is. Yep.
Okay, all right. So, and you were a AAA Rule 5 selection. Was there?
Oh no.
that?
He was the
First
AAA Rule 5 selection. First overall, boys.
That's right.
Minor league portion.
Right, the AAA phase, correct?
Yep.
So, give a little insight on what that's like and what that entails.
It's kind of something that not a lot of people know about. You really have to be involved in the game to even hear about the Rule 5 draft, or at least know what it is. So I'm pretty involved with the PA. Had an idea of what the Rule 5 draft was. So basically, whenever you sign your first contract, depends on how old you are. It's either 6 or 7 years.
No,
And
don't
Oh
hit that.
no,
Oh my god.
he had to throw it in there.
I had to. I thought it was funny. Basically, yeah. So your first 3 years, nothing can happen, and then your last 3 years of your contract, they're called Rule 5 years, which makes you eligible for the Rule 5s. And essentially, a team has the right or the opportunity to put you on a roster, AAA roster, or protect you on the 40-man. And if they don't protect you on the 40-man, then you're basically eligible for the minor league portion. There's also something like a phantom roster where you can be put on the AAA roster and basically force other teams to grab you from the AAA team. But if that happens, you're on the big league team for the entire next year. And you have to be, or else they send you back. If they send you down, they send you back to your previous team. So learning all that was kind of difficult, but kind of have a grasp for it. Basically what happened is the Mets they had other guys above me, and they didn't put me on the AAA rosters, which made me eligible for the minor league portion. I felt like I had pretty good numbers last year. I mean, the Mets just had a plethora of arms. I don't blame them, honestly, because it's a great problem for them to have. And the Rule 5 is a player-friendly thing. So if you don't have an opportunity with this team, you have an opportunity with the 29 other teams. And basically, they didn't protect me, which made me eligible for it. The Rule 5 draft happened, I think, December 10th or 11th. And basically, there's a pool of players. They have the right to choose whoever they want. And I guess the Rockies like me the best, so they picked me first.
That's gonna be a boost in confidence, right? I mean, even though you didn't get put on a roster, it's like somebody else wants you.
Especially a
definitely
team like the
was.
Rockies too, like a team that's really trying to flip the page. You know what I mean? Like they think you're going to come in and really help them do that on the minor league side. So
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean-
honestly, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I imagine with the Rockies too, it's you're probably on a little bit of a faster track to get up to the big leagues as opposed to a couple of other places where lineups or the rotation might be a little bit more set or stacked. But that's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
No, I was going to say it definitely is a confidence booster. Because I was sitting at my house watching it with my dad on my iPad, and we heard my name first, and we're just like, "What?" Like, like we didn't. I mean, I expected to be picked, just not first. But my expectations got blown out of the water. But yeah, I mean, with the Rockies, we're doing a lot of great things here. We got Paul DePodesta, who was the guy from Moneyball, Jonah Hill's character.
Yep.
I didn't know that till I got here. Which I thought was pretty cool. And they're implementing a lot of things. They hired a lot of good staff. We got a guy from the Dodgers, Twins, Braves. Basically, it's just a whole turnaround. And I've heard horror stories of what's going on here. And we're trending in the right direction. We're kind of this first group that is implementing a lot of these things. And I'm really curious how this year turns out. Seems like we're already on a good roll on the big league level. Hopefully we can keep that going. But yeah, I mean, doing a lot of good things here. I'm excited to be here. The opportunity is there. You just got to go out there and take advantage of it.
Do you have any, I guess, preconceived notions on what it's going to be like to pitch in Colorado? I mean, you're pitching in the Pacific Coast League now, which is hitter friendly, and Albuquerque's high elevation.
Yeah,
Even I heard El Paso might be the worst place to pitch in the minor.
No, it might be Albuquerque.
It might be Albuquerque. Okay, it might be Albuquerque. All right.
Yeah.
So you have some practice right now.
I was going to say the elevation, I think we're right at 52 or 5,400 feet above sea level. And Colorado, I think, is right below 6,000. So it's not that much different.
Okay.
So I will say I've noticed your pitches aren't as sharp. It really affects like four seam carry and sweeper horizontal. But anything low spin usually plays better. It's like because it still has the drop or the movement. But just knowing what your stuff's going to do is huge. At least what I've noticed in the first couple of weeks. And it definitely affects your stuff. Like you feel like you're not throwing a legit sweeper or like a legit four seam. But if you realize what it's going to do, you can kind of set your sights different, whatever. But it is different. I try not to let it affect me. They tell us to not let it affect us because everybody has to deal with it. It's almost like pitching when it's hot. it's hot on everybody, but it's high on everybody. Like we're high up, and you got to be okay with letting a ball at 90 degrees go or 90 off the bat go out. Like you got to be okay with that mentally. Fly ball at 90 degree or 90 at 40, it might go out. So if you can get past that and trust your stuff, then more than likely good things will happen.
And then there's a physical portion to it, right? Less oxygen up there. I hear that a lot about the recovery time, and it's just not the same. It's a little harder to do it every day compared to somewhere that's closer to sea level.
From the guys that I've talked to, they say the run in from the bullpen, you're out of breath by the time you hit the dirt. So just making sure you're physically in shape and making sure your lungs can handle the thinner air and less oxygen. I mean, that's a big part, but again, I think it comes down to mindset if you let it affect you or not. Like I'm huge on that. So if you can move past that mentally, then you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's pitchers that succeeded there, so they can do it.
It can be done. Yeah. What you got, Andy?
Just wanted to ask, like, is it cold there? Fucking cutting diamonds in that shirt, bro.
It is in this room, yes.
Number two.
Weather, I was gonna say the weather's
I
great.
can put pasties on or something if you like.
Yeah, bro. What the?
I spent a good amount of time out in Colorado. I have never gotten sickness, but I mean, the sun's a little warmer out there, and yeah, when you're walking around and doing stuff, I like keep that shirt.
Got me self-conscious about it.
But yeah, it's a little bit of a difference. It's interesting. I spent a month out there actually, not that long.
I heard Colorado is actually beautiful. I've just never been, but I just seen the stadium. Obviously, it's gorgeous, and the fans look like they're showing up. So it looks like we're doing some things right.
Yeah, that's a good sign. I've been to Denver, haven't been to the Coors Field, but
yeah,
Southwest Colorado for me, I love that area.
I was gonna say the food that they've put out this year looks crazy. They got like the Glazilla. It's like a 2-foot hot dog or something.
Yes. It's gay. It's gay.
That hot dog joint out called Glizzy's. I usually can't say that word because it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It does something to my brain.
I think Glizzy was like originally a name for like a Glock too. Like it was a gun, correct?
I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
No idea.
I don't listen to rap, so I'm not familiar, but I think that's what it was.
Hey, you're from Chicago. You got to know these things.
That's true. Yeah, you should know better than us.
You're closer to Chicago than me, C-Ron.
I'm like an hour and a half away.
I'm like an hour and a half.
Yes, there you go. I appreciate it. This is cool. I like the banter between y'all. This is great. So
yeah.
Let's do a little kind of head-to-head thing, like questions about you two. So
we answer for each other. Like you ask the question, I answer for Shook, and Shook answers for me.
Not that one. Maybe next time though. Who had the better like pitcher body language on the mound?
Me? Bro, Shook, you got taken out of live ABs one time or like an inter squad, and you took the ball and you fucking catapulted it into the ground, dude. Kingston had to do a whole thing where he was like, we're not doing that anymore.
I don't think that was me.
Yeah, I promise that was you. I promise that was you.
I don't think I did.
Promise. That. No, I know for a fact it was you. It was an inter squad, and you got hit a little bit, or like something happened, and they were coming to like take you out, or they rolled the inning, and it wasn't in an actual. It was an inter squad. Okay, it was in the fall. They rolled the inning, and you took the ball and you just threw it directly into the grass right around the mountain.
Oh, you know what? I think I do remember that actually.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Honestly, I think
about it.
I think I blacked out during that moment, but I vaguely remember that. I don't even remember what happened. That's how insignificant it was to me. I mean,
all right, TJ won, or not TJ, Andrew won. All right, who is the bigger competitor and who is the bigger diva?
I'm both.
Diva.
Definitely diva for okay. All right. Both, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we both have our sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Which I'm kind of gonna lean towards. I know this one. Which one of you had the more dramatic bad inning face?
Bad inning face.
I think we both kind of kept our composure.
I was gonna say we never really had like giant blow-ups other than that one incident maybe. Andy, did you ever have like a big blow up in the dugout or anything? I don't remember.
I remember the story about like Carmen and Coach Mead.
Yeah,
The year before I had gotten there, but like I never had like a big blow up in the. I tried. One of the big things that they preach was like we're under a microscope. Anything you do will be seen, and I was just
yeah,
kind of like, I'm not. I was worried about my image back then. Now I don't care, but
yeah.
it's also like we talked about earlier. It gets a little less serious as you continue to move. Like you got to be loose. So it's just like bad inning. It's like whatever, just keep going. So
Yeah, honestly, I would say from when we played, which was what 7 years ago. I don't even remember. Uh,
shoot, man. Yeah,
Pitchers are a lot more animated overall, good or bad. So I don't know where that came from. I think that's just guys playing with more emotion, trying to get into it more. But
Mhm.
I
could
tried
have
to
been the
stay
Trevor
like,
Bauer thing. Remember that COVID year? Because that was COVID year. He started doing the sword and it's like,
yeah, guys started getting a little more, confident. I would say. Um, but yeah, I try to be like this, even if it's good or bad. Because
yeah,
as soon as you let the other team see good or bad, they're going to be like, all right, yeah, we're going to strike him right now. Like
Right.
he's
yeah,
feeling bad. Let's go tat him up a little bit or something. I don't know, but I try to stay even keel, good or bad.
Yeah, like
yeah.
striking that weakness, you see it, and it's like, ooh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, when is it my turn to take this guy deep, or
Hmm.
when am I going to get a hit? Yeah,
You give them fire, it's game over. Like you know what I
yeah,
mean. The Louisville Vanderbilt game. Remember Luke Smith the year before, like that College World Series against
yeah,
Julian Infante. Louisville
yeah,
was up the whole game, and then all of a sudden they lose because of the Luke Smith incident.
yeah. I do remember that actually.
What was the incident? If you could briefly touch on it.
Allegedly, Luke Smith struck out Julian Infante in like the seventh inning, and he was shoving. um, for Louisville. And allegedly, earlier in the game, Infante looked out at Luke Smith and said some very choice words that I can't say, allegedly. And then Luke Smith looked at him after he struck him out in the seventh inning, spits, and just kept saying, "Fuck you, fuck you." And
I
like
was
there
gonna
was
say
like
you
the
probably roll that
umpires.
clip in there too.
Yeah, you could roll the clip. Yeah, like you can. It's all over social media. Same with that Todd Peterson clip. Don't forget. But
No, it's in there. I
um,
can't. I watch these. When I edit, I watch the whole entire thing, man. I
okay,
can never
good.
watch these after I'm done because I've watched it already like 7,000 times from just doing this and this and this, going back and forth. So yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. I got
But and Vanderbilt ends up coming back and winning. So
you. Jeez.
yeah,
All right. Yep. We'll run that in there. Music and who had the worst taste in music?
we're the exact same. That's also one of the ways we bonded.
Oh,
I was gonna
yeah.
say we both like pretty heavy rock.
Heavy, yeah. Like we found out we had the same walkout song at because you did Hail to the King by Ben Sevenfold. I did Hail to the King my freshman year at
Oh,
Yeah.
Maryville. So
love Avenged Sevenfold. I saw them live once. They were pretty good, man. Saw them with Metallica.
Oh, that's my number one, dude. I want to
Yeah.
see them so
yeah,
bad.
It was
yeah.
a little disappointing, honestly. Because when I saw him, it was geez, close to 10 years ago now, and I don't know, man. Hetfield sounded a little. He's older, so he sounded a little less, aggressive. And I
He
was like,
also had like surgery on his vocal cords a
yeah,
bunch,
which
didn't he?
yeah, I don't know if he did or not. I mean, I would assume maybe, but it was almost a little. Man, I don't want to say lounge singery, but kind of where everything was just a little bit more smooth and goes into the thing. And I was just like, man, I wish I would have saw him 10 years ago when he was still kind of more. But
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
he in Metallica Live was amazing because I never saw him.
That was me, Carm, and Shook. We like Carm's more classic rock, like the classic heavy rock. He picked my walkout song the following year. Actually, it was "My Disaster" by Seether. But we all bonded over music like that. So yeah,
I was gonna say Metallica. They are literally my number one if we want to talk about music. And then because Andy knows this, I play a little guitar. I try to do what I can, but
yeah.
um, yeah, Metallica, then probably Van Halen, AC/DC. All those are great.
Oh,
A
that's
big
good.
Zach Wild fan, Ozzy Osbourne, all that stuff.
So
Rip.
I used to be a concert photographer and I shot Zach Wild when he was doing his Black Sabbath tour.
Oh heck yeah!
That was pretty cool. Him coming
The
out
Zach
and
Sabbath? Is that what you're talking
yeah,
about?
Zach
Zach Sabbath?
Sabbath. That was it. That was it. Yep. I
I've
saw
wanted to go. I've seen that twice. I've
yes,
gone twice.
Clutch open for them. If you hear of them, they're pretty cool too. But yeah, that was pretty nuts watching him. I was in a House of Blues, and it's like the photo is like 3-4 feet away from him. He's wearing the kilt thing, and I'm like, just don't come too close because I don't want to get accidental shots. But
House of Blues at Myrtle Beach?
No, this one was in Orlando.
Okay, I was about to say I literally went to that this off season.
Yeah, that was which one was it? Yeah, I think it's Disney Springs or whatever it's called up there. Yeah.
Okay.
That one's that's pretty cool. Watching Zach in live in person doing his thing is it's pretty cool.
What's funny is I just bought one of his Wild Audio guitars, and also I got the meet and greet with him this off season. So I got to talk to him, and he's like a Mets and a Yankees fan, which is kind of cool. So I talked to him a little bit about that, but it was awesome meeting him because he's a freaking legend.
Hell yeah!
I mean, he's been around for 50 years. I mean, it's just so cool.
And he's the distinct style too. It's like you hear it and you're like, oh, that's Zach Wild. I know that's Zach Wild.
Yeah,
it was the movies from the 90s with I can't remember his name right now. Mark Wahlberg, Rockstar. Have you seen that one?
No, I've been told I need to watch it.
If you're a Zach Wild fan, yeah, you're missing out. He's the guitarist in that movie, and it's actually a pretty cool movie. That might be one of the better movies that has a kick-ass soundtrack. Like,
really,
they had guys from legitimate bands. I can't remember all who's in it, but I think guys from Guns N' Roses were in the band. But a couple of other dudes. But yeah, it's amazing. Which one of you thought he was filthier than he actually was? Was there any delusion at all to your game to where one of y'all were like, yeah, whatever, dude, you're fucking nuts, I'm better?
Andy was definitely better than me. He threw harder, had nastier stuff. I only threw like 92 in college, bro. But I will say,
I was gonna say he had the best changeup I've ever seen.
I was gonna say changeup was my pitch, and then outside of that, I was like, I didn't really have much.
Yeah.
But Andy had a nasty sweeper. I think you were throwing a curveball, right, at the time?
I was just a 3-pitch guy. Yeah, I was knuckle curve, changeup, and just hard fastball. Like, pre-South Carolina, I was running it up to like 100. I mean, I was rehabbing Tommy John, so I didn't know what any of my stuff looked like. And Coach Mead was like, "You're not throwing." He didn't like curveballs. It was so funny.
I know he was like big sweeper, like, you throw
slider guy, cutters and sliders. And
it's like horizontal movement, huh?
Yeah. He was like cutters and sliders, like hard, sharp, late, like less is more, like big break. No, he was low key ahead of the curve because you don't really see curveballs anymore in today's game unless it's like a lefty.
Yeah, you gotta have a pretty good one.
Or they're throwing it like 83 to 80, like 82, 83 miles an hour plus.
Yeah. I think we talked about that. I was like, literally, you don't really see curveballs unless it's 85 plus.
Yeah.
Or has like a ton of drop or something deceptive about it.
Yeah.
Pitching has definitely changed from when I mean, everything was, everybody's throwing, you guys know everything's throwing harder now, but
the 95 is the new 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is awesome. But all right, guys, I appreciate you coming on here. TJ, awesome. Good to meet you, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Hey, if I kind of like this dynamic.
I know I kind of crashed the party a little bit.
No, that was good. I like the banter between you guys. I wasn't sure how it was gonna go because it's like usually I just do one at a time. But that sounds horrible.
We're
this is my first three-way. Thank you for being gentle to me.
Yeah, you know.